evening and welcome to this week in review. Tonight's stories include
production begins at the Seacrest Salt Fish Plant, ground search and rescue construction project is in its final weeks, the council report.
These stories plus a BBS playbill, Off the Rack, and more coming up after this.
Participaction wants you to know excess weight is a serious health risk. Sandra has fought the weight battle.
All my life I did the yo-yo thing, really.
Today, she's succeeding with a winning formula.
Keep on your diet, do your exercise program, and be easy on yourself.
Dr. David Lau.
Physical activity has tremendous payoffs. The self-confidence, improved longevity.
It's like a freedom for me.
Take your first step with Participaction.
On Tuesday, July 15th, the production at the Seacrest Salt Fish Plant finally began. 13 individuals have been hired, 7 women and 6 men. The first shift started at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, July 15th, and they finished at 5 p.m. When we visited on Tuesday, the workers were being shown the ropes by Ken Penny, a Seacrest representative from Carbonear. Norman Strickland, foreperson with the plant, was kind enough to show us how the salt fish plant would operate. To begin the salt fish processing, the forklift dumps the fish in this chute that takes it inside the building to this loading bin. From there, it is washed and the heads are removed. Next, the splitters remove the sound bone. Then these ladies wash the fish and remove any dirt and blood spots. From there, it is weighed to get how much yield they have. These workers then start stacking the fish into the salt bulk, as it is called. They start with a layer of salt and a layer of fish until they have a salt bulk about 4 feet high. The fish is left in the salt bulks for approximately 21 days until it is fully cured. After the 21 days, the fish is unpacked and graded by size and quality and packed again as per the buyer's specifications. When we visited, there were splitting hack and pollock. This is fish from the inshore fishermen in Burgeo and Grey River. We spoke to Les Hiscock, and he told us they are hoping to get fish from Franceway as well, as soon as they can find a way of getting it to Burgeo. Hermitage will also supply some of the fish for this salt fish plant. It will be split at Hermitage and then transported to Burgeo for the rest of the processing. Les also told us that if things go well with the fishery, the workers are expected to receive enough work to become EI eligible. We have been invited back to the plant in 21 days to watch the final processing of the salt fish. We thank Seacrest and their employees for allowing us to film them at work. We wish them every success in their new venture.
That myself from a different group. Ray River Hayes.
This week, work continues on the ground search and rescue construction project. This is number 13 week of the project. With only 1 week left in the 14-week project, there is still quite a bit of work to be completed. An extension has been applied for, but as of Thursday, July the 17th, the ground search and rescue hasn't received the approval. When we visited, 2 of the workers were busy putting the finishing touch on this garage door. The bottom portion of the building will remain as it is now. 2 steel posts will be installed in this area for safety reasons. Upstairs, the other 3 workers were busy putting up strapping in preparation for the gyprock. The walls will also have gyprock. The plywood floor will have floor tiles. Most of the outside of the building has been done with the exception of a bridge in this area. With only a week left in the project, there is still lots of work to do. We hope the ground search and rescue will be given approval to finish their project. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Physical activity! Physical activity! Physical activity!
Attention, attention. It's time for some action. At school or at home, hey, you got to be moving. Attention, attention, it's time for some action. At school or at home, hey, you've got to be moving. Sports are here to keep you in shape, and enjoying good health is not harder than playing. A little fresh air, healthy way of eating. These are the keys to explore the horizons. If you ask me, well, physical activity lets you go through a whole school day easily. Be part of it, do something for your body. Go outside, let your lungs have a party. Healthy body brings out the healthy spirit. Physical activity, can't live without it.
The student summer employment programs are well underway. Most of the students hired for the summer have been working for 3 weeks now. Most of them have settled into their position very well. Student summer employment provides students with job experience as well as much needed funds to help them with their post-secondary education. At the BDDB, Jennifer Marks is busy gathering research on historical sites around town. For example, information about the old fish plant is needed. This research and information will be used on signs in the future that will tell about the site. Anyone who has any information on the old fish plant, cottage hospital, old rooms, old library, Virgil Islands, co-op store, Moulton area, old post office, and the former residence of Spencer Lake, please give Jennifer a call at the BDDB office at 886-2302. The Communities in Schools has 3 workers that are responsible for carrying out the summer programs at the public library, like the Story Hour. Sharan Han, Benjamin Vatcher, and Jeff Janes are also responsible for one-on-one tutoring, activity camps, and fundraising for a trip to Ramia and the summer snack program. As well, Krista Ingram, Tyson Domney, and Sheldon Durnford were hired on by the Recreation Committee to keep the kids of our town busy this summer. In the morning, these 3 individuals plan and carry out sports activities, either indoors or outdoors, depending on the weather. During the afternoons, they offer assistance to the Santa Sea Committee with preparation for the upcoming festival. There are 2 tutors under the SWAS program this year, as well as 4 tutors for tuition. They will be assisting students who have chosen to do courses in summer school. The 2 SWAS tutors, Damian Barter and Jennifer Lushman, are responsible for setting up schedules and making sure that the tutors for tuition program is running properly and the tutors have everything they need to fulfill their duties. Ingrid Strickland, Nikita Green, Victoria Sims, and Chantel Porter are funded under the Tutors for Tuition program and will be given a tuition voucher at the end of the summer, which can be used to help pay for a portion of their post-secondary education. The museum is our 2 museum caretakers for the summer. Crystal Harris and Tanya Piercy are responsible for helping visitors who drop by and to provide information to tourists as well. Also, the girls are required to keep record of artifacts that may be brought in. We wish all students who found summer employment every success with their job.
Now over to Mayor Ann with the council report.
Good evening. Burgeo Town Council, we held our regular meeting on Wednesday, July the 16th. We had 5 members in attendance. One of the members was out of town. We started off, as we usually do, with the minutes, and then we got the town manager's report. The number 1 item was the water treatment plant, and the town manager advised us that there's 1 tractor trailer loaded with equipment for the Burgeo water plant. The 2nd tractor trailer is due to be completed loading on Friday, and there's a crane supposed to arrive in Burgeo on Monday. Of course, there's no point in sending in the tractor trailers until you've got something in the flatbeds. There's no point in sending them in until you had something to offload it. So therefore the crane should arrive on Monday, and after that the flatbeds or whatever they're sending it in on should arrive and be offloaded. So it would appear that we're getting to the point where we hope to see more activity at the building, and hopefully that we won't run into any more delays, and that they will be on target of turning the new system on September the 15th or thereabout. I won't be surprised now, you know, if it won't be the end of September and probably October, but anyway, they're aiming for mid-September, and hopefully that they can do it. Since I spoke to you last, the signs on the Trans-Canada Highway advertising Burgeo have been erected. I've seen them myself, and several of the councillors have. We think the sign does justice, and we think it's money well spent. So that's one more thing we set out to do. A long time ago, there was talk on getting a sign put on the Burgeo road long before I went on council. So I'm very pleased to say that that project has finally wound up. Our murals on the museum, as you can see for yourself, they're completed. There's some touching up on the one regarding the old Clements property, which council gave approval to have completed. And hopefully that Dean will be able to finish up that mural. And to be quite honest with you, we've had some good and positive feedback from that investment, and we're very proud of it. And publicly, I thank the man who got out there and did that work, Mr. Dean Anderson, and he's certainly got nothing to be ashamed of. Thank you very much, Dean, and Council is very pleased with the work. Regarding rezoning and building and so on, I gave you an update on some areas which was located and designated in Burgeo where building residential dwelling could go ahead. The town manager advised that he's got some figures with regard to getting some of these areas rezoned. Some of the areas had to be rezoned in order to permit residential building in them. So it seems like we've got over that hurdle now, and these areas will be rezoned. The cost is not prohibitive, and there will be a charge to persons picking up a permit to build on those blocks of land. And through this charge, we hope to recover the money which the council will put up front to have the rezoning done. So that seems to be a little closer now. When someone comes in and they want somewhere to build, we can say, well, here's all that we got available, and you can look it over and move from there. Electricity rates, as you know, that I said some time ago, the town of Burgeo wanted to go on record as opposing increase in electricity. We did send letters to the Honourable Walter Knoll and the PC Party, the Liberal Party, the Public Utility Board, and so on and so forth. And our objection to the increase have been received. We have had feedback from different groups regarding our objection, and so therefore we're quite pleased that we're in there opposing it. And I was surprised to see that, you know, there's only about 3 or 4 towns in Newfoundland which are really opposing, that's gone on record as opposing the rate increases. So, you know, it's good to know that, or at least I think it's good to know that our town is among those towns. There was 2 from the island, I believe, and 2 from Labrador, which is opposing the rate increases. So I don't know if it'll accomplish anything, but at least our objections have been registered. Economic Development Officer, as you know, Mr. Illier left Burgeo, and I believe it's gone to Port-au-Port. And we've run into a few snags with regard to replacing the Economic Development Officer. So that came in for some lengthy discussion last night at our meeting, as it seems as if there's some problem now with renewing the position and putting someone there, and there's financial problems and so on and so forth. And the discussion went on so long, and all we were doing was asking each other questions and wheres and whys and so on, of which there was no one in the room that could answer the questions. So therefore, discussion was called off on that, and we've decided that we're trying to set up a meeting with the people concerned to come in and meet with us and discuss this issue, because the council does feel that there is need of an economic development officer, and therefore we're going to try to get that position filled as soon as possible here in Burgeo. Another matter was we've discussed how we're going to operate this new water system once it's put in place, and council met since our last meeting, and we came to the conclusion that there was just not enough work in Burgeo at the present time with the Burgeo Town Council to employ a 4th person. And in order for us to take on another person, it was either that we would have to do away with a position that's presently there, cut the hours of the employees that are presently there, and really we're dealing with something that we didn't have enough information to make what you would call a good solid decision on. With that in mind, it has been decided by council that the jobs of the 3 present employees will be revamped. There will be alignments and so on. Responsibilities will be highlighted, change, and so on and so forth, so that we feel that anyway we'll start off with the 3 employees that there will be responsible for operating the new system. So once we get into it, we'll see what happens from there, but at the present time, that's what we plan on doing. And we have a discussion with other towns, and we're sort of optimistic that if we all work together, that possibly this system can work, and if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to go some other direction. But for the present time, the 3 employees, that's the clerk, the manager, and the outside worker, we're going to restructure their jobs, their responsibilities, as some will pick up different responsibilities and so on. And we'll see if that can operate the water system. And the old thing behind all of this is that we're trying to keep down cost. That's a major factor in trying to keep down cost, and employees are a major cost of any project today. Regarding the road to the sandbanks, The contract has been let for the paving of the remainder of that road. $81,000 was the cost of that contract. West Side Concrete Incorporated was the successful tenderer. By the way, they will be doing the paving in the area of the school. And I might add at this time that the town has also entered in with them to do some road patching and so on that we need done here in town. So that's all been taken care of, and within the next couple of weeks you should see them in Burgeo and possibly work commencing on the Sandbanks Road, the paving of this over around the school, and the jobs which the town has got to do with our streets. The Recreation Center, the tender call will be made on July the 26th. It will go to tender on July the 26th, and it will close on August the 9th. So therefore we'll hear something shortly after August the 9th. With regard to Seacrest out at the old government shed, I'm sure as you all know that it's now gone into operation. It's not a big operation. We knew it wouldn't be. It have created 14 additional jobs in Burgeo. It's nothing to get excited over, but at the same time, it is 14 more jobs, and maybe 14 there, and down the road, who knows? And we just got to be a little bit optimistic and hope for the best. Some time ago, I reported to you that no one from the Burgeo Town Council was invited to a ferry commission meeting which was held in Rose Blanche regarding the Grand Brit-La ferry. I said at that time that there was no invitation to anybody from the Burgeo Town Council. Apparently there was an invitation went out. I didn't see it. No other councillor saw it. Staff at the office didn't see it. And as a result, of course, that's the reason I made that statement. However, apparently Mr. Parsons have provided with a copy of the invitation, and so therefore I would like to just pass on, you know, that Burgeo was invited, and I apologize for putting this out. I certainly don't want to start false information. So anyway, just to clear the matter up, apparently Burgeo was invited, and the invitation for some reason got sidetracked, lost, or whatever, but none of us was aware of it. I attended the white paper, the round table on to look at the white paper on joint fisheries management, which the province has out. We were given an invitation by Minister Yvonne Jones and Tom Lush to attend in Corner Brook. I attended that meeting. It would be great if something was worked out whereby, you know, Newfoundland would have more involvement. I'm not overly optimistic that something will come out of it, but however, I suppose the best we can say, somebody is trying to do something. Other than that, there was routine business, which we have at every council meeting, and invoices in the amount of $13,229.90 was approved for payment. The only other thing I would say at this time is that with regard to garbage around town, you know, we've got a fair number of cans, and it would certainly help if people would use them a little more than they are. Sometimes, you know, it just seems ridiculous that only within 2 or 3 feet of the garbage can there's all kinds of cans, and Mr. Freeze and chip bags and so on thrown down. So, you know, it wouldn't take much to take that extra step and just drop it in the proper container. And that's it from Council for this week. Thank you.
The murals at the museum have finally been complete. Despite the terrible weather we have been having, Dean Sims Anderson has completed the murals. Dean has added a boat to the first mural that he painted. It really adds to the picture. Compliments continue to come in about the project, and the town is very pleased with the results. We were told on Thursday of this week that the town has given Dean approval to add a few more details to the murals. It is unbelievable how a building could be made so attractive. Just think how beautiful our town would be if more buildings had murals on them. We congratulate Dean on doing such a fabulous job with the murals.
As many residents are aware, the town of Burgeo are making amendments to their municipal plan and their development regulation amendment. Council has asked us to read the public consultation in its entirety. The general public is invited to view a draft copy of the Town of Burgeo Municipal Plan Amendment Number 3, 2003 and Development Regulations Amendment Number 3, 2003. The proposed municipal plan amendment is divided into three parts. Amendment 3A will redesignate a portion of land located west of the main highway at Missers Cove and in the area known as CLO from recreational open space to residential. Amendment 3B will redesignate a portion of land located north of the main highway at Grandy Island and the western extremity of Short Reach from commercial and rural and resources to residential. Amendment 3C will redesignate a portion of land located south of the main highway along Short Reach from recreational open space and public institutional to residential. The amendments are required to allocate more land for residential development. The public can provide any comments or concerns on the proposed change to the town in writing before proceeding with adoptions of the proposed amendment. The Town of Burgeo Draft Municipal Plan Amendment Number 3, 2003 and Development Regulation Amendment Number 3, 2003 shall be on display from July the 18th to the July the 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Town Council Office, Burgeo. The deadline for written comments shall be 4 p.m. on July the 28th, 2003. Further information can be obtained from Mr. Doug Cannell, Town Manager, or you may call 886-2250, or you can fax at 886-2166. Their email address is townofburgeo@nf.aibn.com.
Stay with us for Off the Rack and the BVS Playbill all after this.
Participaction wants you to know excess weight is a serious health risk. Dr. David Lau.
The more overweight you are, the more likely your lifespan is shortened.
These people have never met each other, yet they share a common challenge.
You start going through the dieting game, and I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight.
I can't pass a pastry display without, oh geez, I'd love to have one of those.
Excess weight contributes to heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Sandra and Dave are succeeding by reducing their weight.
So we think more about if we want to enjoy the next 20 years, what is it that we have to do?
They're taking the first steps, getting active, making healthy food choices, and talking to their doctor.
We do live longer if we engage in regular physical activity.
It's like a freedom for me. When you feel good about yourself, everything in your life seems better. Probably it's the greatest benefit of all.
Take your first step with Participaction.
Off the Rack. This week as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of come home year activities. Let's look back to 1988.
Miss Burgeo, coming home queen, first ever historical moment. Miss, coming home your queen, 1988 is, Miss Coming Home Your Queen 1988 is contestant number, let me tell you this joke. I got you again. Belinda Barnes. Please stay seated.
It's been given to Belinda. She'll hold it until there's another come home year. Congratulations.
Yes, Playbill. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing Odd Job Squad TV Bingo. Next Sunday at 6:30 p.m., we will have religious revelations from the Anglican Church. And we'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. With This Week in Review, I'm Jennifer Han.
And I'm Marie Rose.
Good night.
And God bless.